to have the speech
anything.
evaluated before we find out the times.
This evening, I will be evaluating Lloyd's speech, and I invite you all to listen in. So Lloyd, what you did so well, as you always do, is you stood here in front of all of us. You had nice high hand gestures. You invited us in a very welcoming way to listen to your speech. And I really appreciate your tone of voice, your clear speech, and your very good pacing that you have. You described the contribution of the person. You told us that why it was that you would be giving this particular award to somebody, and you talked a lot about why that would be so. It's very important that we have people who greet somebody when they come in to see us for the very first time. If a new member is not greeted within the first minute, that person is likely not to come back. So you gave us a real good reason as to why it is that you wanted to present this particular award. You gave some examples of when it was your very first time coming in, who it was that greeted you, and you invited us all to acknowledge this person as well. That did he greet you when you came in, or who do you remember greeting you? And I remember Eric and Stephen, and I believe you also greeted me my first and second time. Eric, I remember when you greeted me the first time, and the second time you said, am I doing a little too much? Maybe you just want me to leave you alone, because I felt a little intimidated by all the attention. So it's a very good thing that people get noticed when they first come into our club, and you described that very well as to why Eric was being chosen for that. So this particular award was called the Mr. Cascade Speakeasy Award, and you also explained some other reasons why Eric would be the recipient of this, in that he served as an officer in many different roles, and he's also one of our senior members. He keeps coming back and encouraging others to do so. I enjoyed your humor, that the treasurer is one of the roles that you could get in trouble for. You might wind up going to jail for that. So that was an amusing comment there. Overall, I just really enjoyed how you unwrapped this particular award. We didn't know what it was going to be about, described what it would be, and then presented it to Eric. Your genuine regard and warmth to our fellow member was very clear, and you also helped us lead us into being able to acknowledge other people and recognize what they do as positive members in our group. Some areas of improvement, I think that perhaps you could have developed a conclusion more. You had Eric come up and he said a couple words and he sat back down, and people were still clapping. And you said a couple of things, but I didn't quite hear what you said. It seemed like you could have held the stage just a little bit longer. And one other thing for perhaps us politically correct individuals, you might want to think about the name Mr. Cascade Speakeasy in case you wanted to ever give this award to somebody else who was not a male. So thank you very much for your speech. I enjoyed listening to it and look forward to any more from you. Thank you.